The studio was doing one-off unique games all set in the same mindverse, while working for AAA publishers with big budgets. That model was destroyed by the 2008 Yankee crisis, but the studio didn't live long enough to find out. The lead has left to never do a good game ever again. The remaining chunk of the team decided to just milk their recent project, the giant hit Perimeter. First, they wrote a fan-fiction add-on which nevertheless has real gameplay. Then they continued their RTS spree with Maelstrom. The first real game of the remnants of the studio was not successful, nor critically acclaimed, nor popular. It probably is even less popular at home than in the West. According to the text on the official site of the amalgamation of KD Vision and the fans working on open-source ports of the games, Perimeter 2 was made under a shadow of a beating stick. There was a contractual obligation to make another one, so they scraped all of the discarded underthought thoughts recorded during the pre-production of the original and somehow glued them together into a minimal viable product. The Steam release doesn't have the original language, so instead I just installed the disk version and patched it to 1.01. Perimeter is very stylized to be sterile, as an opposite to sensual. It's not warm and humane, it's disinterested and distant, describing events on a great timescale, like Foundation. While the add-on went into the predestination mode, it still was mostly in tone with the original. In this new game, Исход sounds like возврат, and возврат sounds like ass.
Новая земля отличается от всего когда-либо виденного нами.
Сыны земли, сражайтесь, и война продлит ваши жизни.
The characters are whiny and emotional, and besides the robotic handlers there's the half-protagonist human thing. It all is very out of character. And the storyline is not even trying. First it grounds you to one planet. Then it introduces more aliens, which are not Crispo. And then the planet explodes and you open a portal to Ars. Or whatever. It's not satisfying, and the cutscenes are pathetic. The campaigns beginning are the hardest and longest missions in this game. It keeps you incapable. First you only have lowest tier stationary defenses against an aggressive enemy, then no AA turrets against aggressive flyers. But the moment you get the flyers you solved the game, which is only sped up by upgrading the nuke. The enemy tries to send its flyers ASAP, but if you push hard and fast you crush it for the rest of the both campaigns. The nukes allow you to outright skip some of the maps by wiping out the enemy's base from the start. In the second campaign you already have all the tech, and you know the strategy, but now you are playing the easy mode. Instead of terraforming and energy chains, this game has only generators. And that is all what this game has. There are no frames, no even TCS. You play as generators that build more generators. There are no energy chains, you just create an MCV that unfolds into another generator. The generators do something like terraforming. You don't have real tools or diggers, you just pick a generator and order it to do something. There are two factions in this game and their split is dumb. One can only build on Earth, the other only on water. And the Earth generators do not create more Earth, they only somewhat level the land. Which, on most maps is below the sea level. Guess what the generators of the water faction do? Raise the sea level. The land is always uneven and ruined by combat, your buildings refuse to be created there. The water surface is flat. Balance much. In theory you can win with возврат by just flooding everything. Most maps contain several upgrade points which you dig out with a dedicated tool, not useful for anything else. You spend the points on magics, almost all of which are garbage. The most important magic is the nuke. You can destroy an enemy base and take the initiative. But guess what the second faction in the second campaign has? The second nuke. Balance. The base building is rather weak. You have pylons. You have towers, weak land, decent AA, artillery. You have 3 factories, light, medium, heavy. Each can produce only one unit. Not one type of a unit, just one unit. If you want more, build more duplicate factories. Each out of 3 units can transform between a land and an air form. While a big swarm of light air units cannot attack land units, it destroys pylons powering anti-air towers just fine. This whole game is light air domination, 25+. There's also a research center, which allows you to move up one tier. But most importantly, it has minor stat upgrades for your light air units. At the maximum tier, it can produce one unique unit. The land force got a stupid mobile stealth generator. The OP water force got a very strong attack unit. Balance. And if you capture enemy's research center, you can have both. The combat is bad. Every pylon can create pylon MCVs. You destroy the enemy on the left flank. In that time it already created more pylons on the right flank. You just run around with a slipper hunting cockroaches, and the Earth itself can birth more of them at any time in any place. The campaign maps often give the enemy more useful ground, so it spreads very fast. And then there's an upgrade to teleport the MCVs around. And all of that is controlled through a giant unwieldy bad GUI that takes too much space. It's on top of the screen, and in most situations it's not even used. It's not constant like CNC panels, but it should have been. The main menu looks very cheap. I've watched the credits and I saw a couple of people I met mentioned. Well, it's not a good game. And it is a giant disappointment if you liked Perimeter as a game or Univang as a universe. But by itself as an objective product, at least it works on Windows 10, it's short, and it's completable. As an icing on top, it is not even hateable enough.